Hello and welcome to the program, the Rebuild Imo Project, the program that brings you up to speed with the happenings in the administration of His Excellency, Right Honorable Ihedioha, the Governor of Imo State. Payment of pension is one of the responsibilities of government. The story surrounding the payment of pension in Imo have not been a palatable one. Available statistics show that pensioners in the state have not been paid for over 72 months. I wonder how they managed to survive. The present governor of the state, Right Honorable Ihedioha, in his inaugural speech, promised to reverse this ugly trend. On the program today, we will look at what the government has done and is still doing to achieve this feat. My name is Paul, and your regular host. The Rebuild Imo Project will be back after this time out. Stay tuned. Pension could be described as payment a person receives upon retirement. Here in Nigeria, the recipients, known as pensioners, are meant to be paid on a monthly basis. In the past, the thought of being paid pension after retirement was a huge source of hope and joy to civil servants. Civil service work was widely sought after by all and sundry because the civil servants and pensioners were given the attention they deserved. In recent past, the story surrounding payment of pension in Imo State leaves much to be desired as pensioners were owed for over 6 years.
We inherited 6 years of pension arrears and discovered inexplicable discrepancies in the total number of pensioners in both the states and 27 local governments.
Many pensioners died, some fell sick, and a good number of them were unable to provide for their families. Several protests by pensioners in the state, calling on the attention of previous administration to turn the tide for the better, yielded no positive results.
So many of them, my president, home and abroad, St. Titus, died before the verification. She slumped in IICC. My cousin too, Atebu, died. So many people have died. And it saddens our heart that after working for 35 years, they had nothing to show for it.
Hope was rekindled on May 29, 2019 with the emergence of His Excellency, Right Honorable Ihedioha as the Governor of Imo State. The Governor, in his inaugural speech, said his administration would embark on a wide range of reforms on the institutional frameworks of the state with a view to achieving effective service delivery, ensuring value for money, and encouraging transparency in government processes.
One of such frameworks was the Imo State Pension Board and its corresponding pension management system, which was afflicted with intractable problems and riddled with corruption.
In a bid to ensure that the senior citizens retire in joyful hope and live in dignity, the administration set up an investigative committee to carry out a comprehensive audit of the pension administration system in the state.
The main objectives of this action was to ascertain the actual number of pensioners in Imo State and to end the corruption and perennial cycle of verifications that have plagued the processes over the years.
The committee was headed by Barrister Pascal Mado and had the following as its terms of reference:
to determine all outstanding pension liabilities in both the states and local governments. B, to advise on the need for the establishment of an electronic database and digitization of the pension process in the state. And C, to provide the government with guidance on the desirability of transiting to the Contributory Pension Scheme, CPS.
The committee inherited a non-functional pension system with files of pensioners numbering over 48,000, which were at various levels of decomposition.
There was an existing pension system, and which was, I would say, dysfunctional. The data was haphazard, was inaccurate. The storage of the files is not something you want to talk about. The files were in papers, and some of those files were almost decomposing.
We saw the pension system in Imo State in disarray, utter disarray, chaotic. Then there was no record. We don't know who is owed what. It was a huge problem.
The committee hit the ground running by first extracting all the vital information from the files. To enable them perform optimally, the state government procured laptop computers, data capturing and biometric equipment for the committee. The committee, with the approval of the state governor, recruited 236 youths drawn from the 27 local government areas of the state for the data extraction exercise. The data extraction was carried out at Nick's Banquet Hall, Government House, Owerri. The state governor, Right Honorable Ihedioha, visited the venue to ascertain the extent of work done.
They are extrapolating the data and feeding it into the server, showing date of employment as well as date of retirement and other vital information. We have been informed by the consultant that we've been able to capture about 4,600 files today.
We took time off holidays to see the extent of work that is going on here. We did promise our pensioners that we're going to pay them, but it was important we verify those we are going to pay. I appreciate the patience that our pensioners have displayed over the period.
Among those who accompanied the governor were the state chairman of Nigerian Union of Pensioners, Sir Dr. Josiah Ugochukwu, and state chairman, Organized Labor, Comrade Austin Chilabo.
We are satisfied. We commend the governor.
Having come here and having seen the speed and what they are doing, the level of accuracy, and what I observed here today, I think I'm impressed.
After the data extraction phase, the committee immediately commenced the verification and biometric data capturing across the 27 local government areas of the state. 800 ad hoc staff made up of youths from the state were recruited for the exercise.
They were trained on data processing, data collection, verification, biometrics capture. At various stages. At the stage of collection of the files, we had about 236, and subsequently we trained about 800 for the purposes of biometrics and the verification exercise.
The pensioners were provided with seats, food, drinks and water throughout the period of the exercise. The committee also visited hospitals where identified pensioners were hospitalized. The feeble and aged ones who were not able to make it to the venue were also visited at their respective homes.
This one is wonderful. Coming to the hospital to capture her and going to the house to do other ones. I bless God for our government, and I thank you people so much for having patience with us.
Wheelchairs were also provided to assist the weak among them.
The governor, Right Honorable Ihedioha, was very interested in that, and he had to bring us to speed with the fact that every sick pensioner, every infirm pensioner must be captured. It was a clear mandate. So what we did was everyone who had or who has a pensioner who is sick or is old, he might not be able to go through the stress and strains of movement. We got their telephone numbers, their addresses, so we had to call them up, program to meet with them. We were able to go to every, I didn't say one or two, every pensioner who gave us the information required for us to visit them, whether in the hospitals or in their respective homes, to capture them.
Some of the pensioners said they have not had it so good like this before and thanked the state government for making the exercise heat-free.
I'm saying to the government that he is doing very well. Like before, pensioners, we are suffering very much, but now this is an easy process that he has introduced.
This exercise, we like it. We pensioners are jubilating because God has sent a Messiah that will save us, we pensioners, because we are suffering because of financial problem, no money to treat ourselves, no money for food. Many of us are dying.
For the past 1 week now, the exercise has been going on at this center very orderly.
This was the most civilized and organized verification that I've carried out for the past how many years? Over 8 years.
The orderliness and the ease with which the whole exercise is going. For now, we are comfortable, very comfortable.
It's been going very well. It's been very busy. The first few days were quite busy in all the centers. And of course, most of the team leaders are new to this exercise, but they've picked up very quickly and things are moving a lot smoother.
After extraction and analysis of 48,481 records submitted to the committee by the Office of the Head of Service of the State and Local Government Pension Board, 24,431 pensioners were verified. A monthly bill of 1,499,895 naira was presented to the state government, being accruals for state and local government pensioners. After the exercise, the amount was trimmed down to 1,218,175,387 naira, which entails a savings of 280,982,508 naira per month. A total of 5,728 good pensioners were filtered out. At the local government level, out of 683,817,451 naira, representing accruals to 14,667 pensioners presented to the state government, the amount also came down to 536,677,591 naira for an adjusted figure of 11,846 beneficiaries. This represents a monthly savings of 147,139,866 naira. Total number of ghost pensioners for local government stood at 2,821. Prayers of pensioners in the state were answered on the 16th of October 2019. While others were deep asleep, pensioners in the state were busy with their phones as they received alerts of payment of pension for the months of August and September 2019. This time it was a full pension and not half.
I received my own on the 16th. Wednesday night, my alert came. That was September. I was not saying, hey, how come? Am I alive to receive my pension, full pension? I now knelt down and bowed down my head 7 times to say, God, I thank you for keeping me alive. Because so many people were sick, so many people died, and see me alive to receive my full pension. Then that same night, early hours of 17th, my August pension came into. I have my friends that retired last year, and they queued in. They received their pension. They received their pension. This last one that was paid. But previously, you would stay and stay and stay and stay for years. Nobody would put in your name. So I am very much overwhelmed and say thank you to the governor, Ihedioha.
Government emene anyo bioma. Nihina ọtụtụ anyị maọbụ anyị niile nọ nga dịka ndị agbachipụrụ na nga enweghị ihe enyeghị for 8 years. Mana Chineke asọpụtara anyị. The Moses of this time, the Joshuas of this time. I can mention their names. Governor Ihedioha.
For the past 8 years, we have received pensions for 3 good times for 8 years. But under 6 months, Omenka Huranya has paid under 6 months, giving us 2 months.
When I got the alert this morning, I've been informing them about the governor's speech on last Friday at the Concord Hotel. I told them that from Thursday they expect their alert for 2 months. And actually, so it was this morning. So I am very grateful to the governor. He has kept his word.
Some of the appointees of government said the huge savings from the exercise could be used to finance developmental projects in the state.
280 million naira is very huge in our economy as a state today, because this administration did not meet anything on ground. In fact, the state is like a newly created state where nothing is working. We need every fund available to fix the state. If he was able to save the states such a huge amount of money that would have gone into the hands of, I don't want to use the word dubious persons, but monies that wouldn't have been accounted for, I think it's very huge. And it's on a monthly basis. You cannot multiply 280 million naira times 4 years. You can imagine the kind of capital projects and the effect the money will have.
The governor said the pensioners who are out of the state or in diaspora need not worry, as plans have been concluded to make sure they are captured in the exercise.
I have directed that a unit be created in the pension board. This unit will resolve this type of cases as well as complaints that may naturally arise during the audit exercise. In line with prevailing national and international best practice, government will soon adopt the Contributory Pension Scheme, CPS. Our goal is to establish a seamless administration and management of pensions in Imo State, achieve accurate computation of benefits, and build a secure data bank.
The state governor, Right Honorable Emeka Ihedioha, disclosed that the youths who were trained in various skills during the exercise will be properly engaged.
The span of competence they have acquired include pension management, data analysis, document digitization, and biometric capture. Others include digital hardware management and support systems. We look forward to harnessing these youths into other useful departments, especially as government prepares to launch its e-governance platform. Some would also be redeployed to local governments to help them create an effective technology-driven pension data management system and the civil service biometrics capture exercise.
Now Imo can pride itself as one of the few states in the country that has a credible electronic database for pension administration.
Managing pension is not easy. It's a very complex system. They require technology to manage. That's what Imo has achieved now. We have automated it to the point that it cannot be breached again. Now we have a server, we have a system, a digital system that cannot be easily tampered with.
You have a pension roll that is digitized by just click of button. The pensioners get their pay. This is miles from what we've had. It's not even, there's even no basis for comparison. So Imo is on a trajectory of development. Imo is leaving the past behind.
It is worthy of note that the establishment of new pension scheme would bring sanity in the state civil service.
His Excellency has made the system to be good for every civil servant to be happy in retirement. It's no longer an issue of when you're about to retire, you become sad and start cutting corners one way or the other to extend your service years. No. Now everybody should be happy that even when you retire, you're going to get your entitlements. Nobody's going to delay your payments.
The payment of pension to retirees in the state will give them a new lease of life as well as boost the economy of the state.
people will begin to see that their hard work has paid off. Families will begin to have faith in the system. Children and sons and daughters of Igbo land who have elder state parents would have their burdens reduced, because the summary of this funding, what it does is that it reduces the level of burden on dependent or codependent, indigents or families who have pensioners as part of their dependents. Again, you find out that some of these persons or pensioners are also ill and also bedridden. So what it will do is to also help to ameliorate the hospital fees and also make sure that they get a deserved healthcare system that they deserve in terms of funding.
It extends the life of our pensioners. So life is the core of the value that the pension has revitalized. It has put life back in our pensioners. I mean, from the economic point of view, yes, the money that is in the pocket of the pensioners are the same money that will go around to the markets to boost the small and medium enterprise trader, who will now recycle the money. Some will go to school fees, some will go to buying foods, some will go to hospital. So you see that the economy, it will revive around the economy.
The payment of pension to pensioners in the state is a testament that the repeat Imo administration is on course. Imo people are advised to support the administration to enable it to succeed. This is where we call it a wrap in today's edition of the program. Join us next week, same time, same station, for another interesting package. Don't forget to follow us on our social media platform showing right now on your screen. I am Paul Danike. Thank you for your time. God bless you.